What's up, everybody?
What's good, y'all? What's good? What's good?
What
What's good?
up?
We
What up?
we are back. We are back with another episode of TTEspn. Y'all can see these are pre-recorded. So before we get into anything, y'all, like, subscribe, comment on the video. Let us know what's up.
Let's get it.
Let us know what's up. You got myself, Soy. That's Vita. That's Pale. Back in the building,
Yeah,
man. What's up with y'all?
let's go. Glad to be back. Ready to get it going, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We got a little bit of a discussion on our hands. We got a couple of topics we're gonna cover. We're gonna start with the NBA, and then we're gonna make our way into the NFL as we approach the NFL draft coming up. We got some draft stuff, but we're gonna start with the NBA, man. Before we get into anything, what's something that's standing out in sports to y'all today? Something that's
Today,
standing out to y'all today. Don't even gotta be football, basketball, just anything. What's standing out to y'all?
dang. So I'm personally missed the whole baseball World Cup series thing, whatever. I see. So I'm that bad at it because I called it World Cup. You know what I'm saying? That's how bad at the whole baseball thing I am. Is that I really missed out on that. I had the OG at work really trying to talk to me about it because he's a baseball dude. But I'm like, yo, we just know America. I mean, they made it towards the end, but it's just crazy how much I do not care for baseball that much. You know what I'm saying? Like
Man,
that this was such a big event. But for other countries, baseball is it. Like baseball is it. So
it's like everything
kind of
for them.
yeah, it is. It's everything for them. So that was kind of one thing there for me, just kind of seeing how that all was going on.
Man, something standing out to me in sports. The UFC matches lately, man. Kamaru Usman, Leon Edwards had part three of their trilogy. Man, last second fight, Usman had it in the bag, man. He won four to five rounds, and then got knocked out with a head kick in the fifth round. So everybody thought coming into this,
Uh,
Usman, they was like he got it locked up. Yeah, nah, dog. He fought
that's
not to lose. He didn't fight to win.
that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's standing out to me, man. UFC is evolving. That's one sport where yes, you can dominate, but once you lose your dog and you get the bag, it's over for
Yeah,
you, dog.
X.
yeah.
It's over.
I'm loving the Lamar Ian Rappaport back and forth. How every
Oh,
day Ian
facts.
reports something about Lamar, and Lamar's like, "You lying, dude." You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Every single day, every single day, anytime Ian Rappaport reports something about Lamar, he instantly replies, "You are lying." Like
Mm-hmm.
that's not it.
That'd be the best. He'd
It's
be
it.
like, bro, stop lying.
Yeah. Same thing with Schefter, where
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers told Schefter was like, "You lose my number, bro."
Yeah,
Like it's
losing my
just
number.
yeah. That's why I told y'all the last couple years I just got intentional about trying to find like credible sources for each team. So I know like, oh, if this person says something, then it's believable. You know what I'm saying? They be changing stuff up so much, man.
It's no
So
longer the Adam Schefter show.
yeah.
What about you, Bali man? What's standing out in sports to you,
Man, that Princeton has the easiest path to the Final Four.
bro?
Yo, it's so crazy you say that. Y'all know my brother we all dabble in the betting, but my brother for the last week has told me, hey bro, I think I'm about to put $200 on Princeton to win it. You know what I'm saying? Because the odds are like plus 30,000.
Damn,
They're
to
Oh,
like,
win it
dang.
even today?
no, like to win the entire thing.
Oh
So he was
my
like,
god.
bro, if I put 200 in the day, and let's say they win the day, he said tomorrow's cash out might be $1,000 just because they a step closer. He said I could take
Mm-hmm.
that money and get out and just do it all over again. I
Mm-hmm.
said, don't bet.
That's
He
what
said,
I'm saying.
yeah, he said it's too much value. It's too much value. I started rolling. So yeah,
You
that's
got
so
Creighton
funny you said
tomorrow, man.
that.
That's light work to them. They
Hey,
already
yeah,
beat.
hey, I might be on the Princeton bandwagon. Yeah,
Messing up
that's
my bracket,
hilarious.
man. Messing up my
That's
bracket, dog.
hilarious.
Final four. Final four.
Yeah, I did have K State winning today. I had K State beating Michigan. So for y'all who are recording, K
I
State and
think I did
Michigan
too.
State are playing right now while this
Yeah,
is
yeah.
going on.
It's
I
a
had
high
UConn.
scoring game in the first half.
I don't know.
That
I know
is.
UConn was up 15 right before we got on. They was up something like 15. I had UConn
Yeah.
blowing Arkansas out. I got a lot of KU people at work who obviously, last year they've been chirping at me since they beat UNC. So, so yeah, that I was Gonzaga and UCLA play tonight. I didn't want to touch that. I was like, man, do I like this?
Oh,
Yo,
I got
UCLA.
UCLA. I got
I got
UCLA on that one.
UCLA.
UCLA.
Yeah, I got
UCLA is good.
UCLA. So they got some fly jerseys, man. I like that light blue. Yeah, I like these fly jerseys, bro.
K
So
K
yeah.
State look like they starting to pull away.
So yeah. I got K State tonight. I got UConn, Tennessee, and UCLA. So that's why I had picked for the day
Yep,
to win.
that's what I got.
I had I had FAU winning over Tennessee.
Oh
What?
wow! Wow!
Damn.
We going
Wow!
crazy.
I still got Alabama. I still got Alabama winning it all.
Yeah, I got Bama winning it all
Quinterly,
too.
yeah. Quinterly, who I think is going to be a very give him a little time. I think he's gonna be a very Tyus Jones like dude in the league. You know what I'm
Tyus
saying?
Jones. Tyus Jones
Yeah.
was balling when Ja was out.
Yeah, I think he's that. I think he's that stabilizer point guard that you want on your team. You know what I'm saying? So I think he'll be able to get his spot into the league and do that, man. And Brandon Miller, man, that dude's the truth, bro. Brandon Miller is the truth. He really is. So I'll be excited to see how that whole draft prospect goes off for this year when we get to the NBA draft.
That's where it's at, man. Those of y'all watching the recording, man, follow on TikTok. Vita Van Pelt on TikTok, man. Top sports
Let's go.
coverage across the board, all the way across the board, man. Throw a comment in there. Ask him what you want him to cover. He gonna hop on it.
Oh yeah.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah. There for a good time, man. There for a good. Help us get to 200 by the draft. 200. That's only 50 something of y'all. Just hit that button. We good
200
to go.
subscribers, man. Hit the
Yeah,
subscribe button.
200 by by the draft. Let
Invite
us
your
get there.
friends. Invite your friends' friends. Invite your friends' mamas' cousins. All of them.
Yeah,
Let's
sure.
go. It's 57 of y'all. 56, something like that. I know it's about 50.
All right, y'all.
So
Let's jump into it, man. First thing, NBA. What is something you got right about the season, and what's something you got wrong coming into the season?
so man, since we haven't covered NBA at all because you know how life has gotten to all of us changing up schedules. Number one thing I got wrong. Oh yeah, Hornets ain't a play-in team, y'all. Hornets ain't. I thought we could sustain shit. You know what I'm saying? I thought we could sustain shit. But the second LaMelo got hurt so early in the year and missed all them games, I was like,
Man,
damn. I told y'all everything depended on him playing every game and he ain't do it. So that and then he's not finishing the year. I understand why they won't bring him back. But yeah, that went all bad. Hopefully it goes good. Just bless us with a top 3 pick and I could take that route.
Y'all ain't
Um,
playing for that.
yeah. Another thing that I got, one thing that I'm gonna say that I think I got right is I do not believe the Atlanta Hawks can develop young talent. I do not believe the Atlanta Hawks can develop young talent. I do not believe that Griffin, Jalen Johnson, and some of these other guys should still, you know what I'm saying? I feel like they're because Trey's such a good player and you bring over DeJounte, I feel like you're stunning their growth a little bit in what these guys could be and what they should be. And you really shouldn't have had a need to go trade for Sadiq Bey. So I feel like the Atlanta Hawks, maybe as a whole, do not know how to you know what I'm saying, develop talent, like just as a whole. And I think we'll see what Quinn does now that he's over there and he gets the off season after he gets this, you know, amount of games with them. I think they're still a team that wants to be a playoff team. I think in a play-in game, if you know that's kind of where they're at, they'll make it. So I think I was right on the fact that I did say that Donovan going to the Cavs will be better than what's his name? DeJounte going to Atlanta. So Donovan to the Cavs was better. Wrong. Something I got wrong. The Jazz did not expect them to be this good. OKC did not expect them to be this good this year. Those are definitely two that I got wrong. It made me look back in the Kings.
Kings.
I expected them. Yeah, I didn't expect the Kings to be this good. I expected them to be midway point. I did not expect them to be statistically and record-wise one of the top teams in the West. But it made me look at both the Jazz roster and the Kings roster, and there's just a lot of pros on the team and people who just fit the build. So, and one more thing that I got wrong. I really thought Minnesota would have been better this year, just because I thought they just had more to go through with it. So That's what I could tell I got right and wrong about this NBA season.
What about you, Polly? What some things you got right and some things you got wrong about the NBA season, dog?
What I got right, man, for sure that the Portland Trailblazers were going to be bottom of the West.
Damn.
Loyalty, loyalty,
Damn.
Loyalty.
loyalty. Look what I got
Damn.
you. What I got wrong? Pelicans be a top 5 team in the West, but
Hmm.
just like every other team, they got injury problems, like
Yeah,
Zion and stuff. Like even the Clippers, they just got PG hurt for the next month.
good
So
lord.
Man, that
I
knee
know.
injury
So
was crazy.
yeah, I thought he freaking broke it. Yeah, and then freaking the Bucks, if they're fully healthy, man, they're a team to beat, man. Honestly.
Facts. Them
So
and the
Yeah.
Celtics.
yeah. Hmm.
One thing I got wrong for sure was the Sacramento Kings. I had them as a play-in team outside looking in. Especially after that Tyrese Halliburton trade, I was like, why would you trade a young, talented guard and invest in De'Aaron Fox? It's paid off. It's
Yeah.
paid off. They've made some moves to where they're surrounding Sabonis, they're surrounding De'Aaron Fox with some just vets, some
Yeah.
contributors. Um, One thing I got
Hmm.
right, which I don't think their record speaks for it, but the Phoenix Suns, not as good as everyone says they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was one thing I definitely got right. Is the Phoenix Suns. I also got the Minnesota Timberwolves. I said they would barely be a playing team. Right now they're hanging on to number 7 by one game. They're 2 losses away from being outside of the play-in.
Yeah.
So the Phoenix Suns, yes, they made that KD trade. Great. I think that actually made them a worse team defensively because they lost Cam Johnson, they lost Mikal Bridges, who was runner-up in Defensive Player of the Year last year. Um, and then I also got the Brooklyn Nets right. Brooklyn Nets being where they were when they traded KD, when they traded Kyrie. Ben Simmons being the biggest surprise, non-surprise of the year. We all thought coming into the season that Brooklyn having a full, healthy lineup
Yeah.
could do something. And I was like,
Yeah.
man, I don't believe it. I just can't believe a KD-led team
Yeah.
personally. But that's where we at, man. That's the misses and the hits of the season. But anything around that y'all want to talk about? Any of the little gems around outside of kind of the little pieces that we talked about that y'all wanna touch on?
um,
Um.
I'm fearing for Houston when it comes to after this, like some of the teams at the bottom. Detroit called it a day with Cade early, very,
Mm-hmm.
very early, which could be beneficial because Jaden Ivey was given a chance to kind of develop some parts of his game. But then you go halfway through the year where I think, Jalen Duren's going to kind of be the guy, and then you bring in Wiseman, and
And
then, you
Bagley.
still kind of get, and Bagley, and it's almost like you're cluttering. You know what I'm saying? It's like you got a clutter of bigs in Detroit, just like you got a clutter of forwards in Atlanta. Like at some point, you're gonna have to be able to just pick one or two and roll with it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think that matters too much this year. I do like.
Yeah.
I don't like the move because then again, you only have so long a time to kind of pick one
Mm-hmm.
of who you're gonna roll with. For Houston, I watched them play last night against Memphis. I felt like they got hold on a lot of late calls. Sengun got 2 offensive fouls, and one of them I was like, the push in the back I could take, the charge on Ja. I was like, yo, I think there's like a clear line between somebody being outside the restricted area and somebody still moving, trying to take the charge too. So I
Mm-hmm.
felt like that was still a bad call. So they kind of got hold there. But I kind of more concerned on the fact that I think they're so banking on getting Victor or Scoot that what if they're the team that has the fifth pick? You know what I'm saying? Like what if they aren't the number one, number two pick and they're the outside team looking in? Then it's like, well, dang, you're stuck with Brandon Miller, which isn't a bad thing, but it's like you just invested in Jabari Smith. Like you already got another wing, which can make it a duo, but then it conflicts almost Jalen Green in a sense. So I think it's just trying to find their window. Um, who is the other team? Portland. Like you
Oh
said,
man, they said they're they said they're
Portland.
they're building towards something. Dame was like,
Yeah,
nah,
they're
dog.
building, and Dame's like, nah. So really, see, me and Pilot was on the opposite sides. Pilot called him a bottom team. I said, nah, not with Dame. Dame's not gonna let that happen. And then it happened. And then they're bad. And then I was like, well, this year they should still make the playoffs. They'll get to a play-in. Dame will win a play-in game. They'll get blown out in the first round. It gives the team experience. But the team can't even get to that point now. And it's like, oh damn, a lot of teams in the West are just better now. Maybe it
Mm-hmm.
is time to get the hell out of the window. Because if they would have been in the play-in now, I'd be like, oh yeah, Dame's gonna win a game. They'll go to the first round. Then they could carry that into next year. I'm looking now, and I'm with Ballard now. I don't think they could carry none of this in the next year. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? I don't think they could. I think Jeremy Grant's got to get paid. Some other people still got to get paid. You let go of Josh Hart. I think it's time to just accept your window. Dame is paid. I don't know what you could do with that, but his comment really made me feel like, yeah, I'm not trying to like. I'm really trying. We know he's trying to win. He's trying to do it there. I just do not believe what's on this roster and how the West is forming out that could be done. So it's almost
Mm-hmm.
like you're gonna have to find another window for yourself. You either gonna have to sell your soul and hope somebody comes, or you're just gonna have to ship Dame out this year. So you got to sell your soul to do something because at some point that's got to change.
We may see a trade with Dame similar to how we saw that trade with James Harden getting him out of Houston. There's gonna
Yeah,
be a team that's gonna be like, yo, take these first for the next 2 years. We trying to
yeah,
win right now.
yeah.
Just take it.
So there, yeah, there'll
Facts.
be a team available. So I think it's just trying to kind of see how some of the teams find their window. Like the Jazz, with all of those picks, you're in a win-win, winning or losing, because it don't matter because you still got so many picks.
Hmm.
And OKC, who still has so many picks and is performing so well, and your top draft pick isn't even playing this year, but you still have an extremely young team, and you still have to figure out at some point, all right, which one of these dudes do we roll with and kind of be ready to move on because they're trade like they're just all growing so well together. So I'm like, do we just lock in with them or what do we do? So I also do think this really might be Cat's last year in Minnesota, man. I think they could probably find something to move off of him
Yeah,
because they're too invested in the Rudy right now for what they
they've
gave
showed
up.
what they could do in 20 plus games without Cat.
Yeah,
30,
Cat.
37 and 37 in this number 7 seed. So
Yeah,
one of the trades that confused me a little bit was Sadiq Bey being traded out of Golden State. I thought he was a perfect fit for Golden State. When Golden State made that move, I was like, yo, that's dope. Okay,
yeah,
Sadiq Bey for James Wiseman. That's a great move. You just got yourself I'd say a little bit better of a floor stretcher in the type of Kuminga player that you got, 3 and D guy. He can guard 1 through 4.
Mm-hmm.
And then they sent him out, and I'm like, what?
yeah,
What are y'all
yeah,
doing?
yeah. I don't think they
Yeah, he's just
expected
like
the
a
Wiggins missing
bigger
time
booty.
thing.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't think they expected Wiggins to be missing time when they made that move.
Then they go and get Gary Payton again,
Yeah.
who almost didn't pass the physical. What's going on with the Warriors, Pollard man? What's it looking like from your view? I know Vita talked about with the Warriors, with Wiggins not expecting to be out for 2 3 months.
Honestly, it's just rotations on the road. They just I don't know. More playtime, he has too much time. So, and I think he was basically most of the offense when it gets to like the road and stuff. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Y'all think we see Wiggins back this season?
No, I don't think so.
Damn.
I think he's I think he's done for the
No.
season.
I think he might be done for the season too.
Damn.
Yeah, because I think they're already expecting Gary Payton to return this Sunday if passes his like walk. Yeah, we already got a defensive player now, so we'll just move on with what we got. That's all we can do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Y'all
It
might
is
catch
good.
yourselves in the playing game against the Lakers again.
Yeah. They've been trending, man. Slowly.
All right, y'all. So what everybody's talking about right now, we're gonna talk about it from the TTE perspective. MVP discussion. Some of the favorites right now, I think back and forth is going between Joel Embiid and Nikola Jokic. Back and forth right now. Giannis is right there at 3, which I honestly think Giannis is probably the favorite right now. Statistically, he's just
Mm-hmm.
performing better than Joel Embiid. He's performing better than Jokic. He's got the best
Yeah.
team in the league. And then Jason Tatum is now kind of on the outside looking in, even though he's one of the two teams that have already clinched the playoff spot
Yeah.
in the East.
Mm-hmm.
One of the three teams. But finally, man, who are your MVP favorites?
My opinion is it got to be Giannis, honestly. Uh, I think Jokic and Embiid. I think they try too hard to like win too much in the.
Getting up a little on the twos.
Are you breaking up? You breaking up
Um,
a little.
yeah, it's breaking up a little on us. Yeah. Ooh.
Losing pilot, but we're gonna go over to Vita, man. What you got? MVP. MVP.
I'm at y'all know the last 2 years I just said if Embiid would have finished the season, I would have gave him MVP. That's what I would have done. And I feel like at this moment, his production is more needed for the success of his team. I feel like Jokic can have a bad or a better game and it not mean as much. But the stretch that Embiid went on to kind of here recently, it was like, all right, let me put me back in there. Even though like up until that point, I was like, you're still kind of third at the moment, but just trying to be fair. When Jokic won it that second time and he was the sixth seed, I just kind of had to check myself, be like, yeah, if Embiid's not playing at this level, this team could, drop down a couple spots. So I'm honestly leaning to Embiid, but I think it's just more of me trying to like, here, bro, you've been trying so hard to get this MVP, bro. Here, man, go ahead and take it and just get it out the way.
The sad
I
thing is,
really
I
do.
think that's why he gets it is because there's not really like an actual format or foundation that says this is what makes you the MVP of the league. It changes every year.
No, it does. It does. And that's so like when it comes to MVP for me, is like I really do look at like how much does your play really affect how well your team does and doesn't do. Like I said, when Jokic won it that year when they was a six seed, I was going for him because I'm like, yo, you had no Jamal Murray, you had no Michael Porter Jr., and you was literally carrying this team every game. And now I see it be a little easier for him, so the stat sheet gets stuffed a little faster. That's why he be having sometimes triple doubles at halftime
Hmm.
because now he has that supporting cast around him. And then I look at Giannis and I'm like, yo, that team is just so like defensively well put together. I did not expect Lopez and Drew Holiday to like still be balling at this level
Man.
and Middleton. So like I think I am kind of penalizing Giannis a little bit because I didn't expect his team to constantly be playing this well around him. But then when I look at Philly, I'm like, yo, if Embiid has a bad game, like this team really doesn't stand a chance against other top contenders and stuff. You know what
He
I'm
got he
saying?
got to put up like
Yeah,
45
yeah.
to
Like so
15 in order
and
for him
and
to
Yeah.
get there.
and so that's why I just hold that word variable. Like, well, whose production to me means most to their team success. And I'd be like, at this point, again, and I think it is more for me just being like, damn, Embiid, I wanted you to have it 2 years ago when I really felt you should have had it. But then you ain't finished the year. But now you finished the year, like let's celebrate you and just get it out the way. Cause I can see you're really trying to get this thing.
Yeah, I think they get it and then they get knocked out the first round.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'll be messed
I
up.
think he gonna get it and then they're gonna get knocked out
He's
the first round.
it has been a story that I've seen around. He's the only guy who we consider a top 10 player who's never been to a conference finals.
Hmm.
Like he really hasn't been to a conference finals. He constantly keeps falling short.
Yeah.
Finally, man, since you back with us, what's your MVP take, man? Who you got?
Man, I got Giannis, honestly, man. Best team, the best chance to get to the finals. Um, I think Jokic and B they work a lot during the season, and that really takes a toll on their bodies during the playoffs, and you can see that. And I think that's when they play bad. Yeah, like Vita said, when they play bad, they don't really stand a chance against any other team. So
Um,
even with Giannis out, I think the Bucks can still get to the second round at
yeah,
least. So yeah, I just think Giannis has the complete team, and his leadership got them to where they are right now. So
I mean,
yeah,
shoot, they won the chip on a bum knee from Giannis,
yeah.
so
which is crazy.
hmm
But that's the MVP race, man. Now, who do y'all pick as a TTE MVP? We did this last year. It was DeMar DeRozan halfway through the year. We finished out. I can't remember who we ended up picking at the end of the year. It was probably DeMar DeRozan to end the year last year.
Yeah, Demar was our last
Yeah.
year TT MVP.
But
Hmm.
Bro was really
TTE
back back.
MVP for y'all, man. Who is the TTE MVP for y'all?
TTE
I'm
MVP.
I'm a star. I'm a go. My
All right.
TTE MVP is Tyrese Halliburton.
Halliburton.
That
That boy balling.
that dude, man, he is
He's that
like
guy.
that. He is like that.
Yeah,
I
Halliburton's like that, man.
the way he impacts the Pacers is crazy. He spent
Yeah,
the last, I think, 5 games sidelined, and I mean the points per game, the impact of other players getting quality shots have been terrible. Soon
that's
as
a
you
great one.
insert
That's a
him
great
in
one.
Yeah.
there, he changes the whole game,
Yeah.
and
No,
he
that's a
does it
great.
so effortlessly.
I've been
Yeah.
very. I think I've been late to the SGA party, but I think
Oh
SGA will
man,
be another name. I've been
that was
Man,
real
my
late
pick.
to the SGA. Yeah, I've been real late to the SGA party. But I really don't think his play this year really is what elevated that team. When you kind of track back his career, he came in the same draft as Miles Bridges. I know he's drafted by Charlotte, traded to the Clippers, and then he spent time with the Clippers, and then he had the year with Chris Paul. And I think this year you really got to see like that time being around those guys and then kind of being the old guy, the older one on the roster, how it really
Hmm.
helped that roster out, man. Because SGA's been hooping, man.
yeah,
So I think SGA would definitely be a name for me with that with Halliburton right there.
Yeah, me too. SGA.
Yeah, SGA is nice.
SGA,
SGA,
Tyrese Halliburton, TTE
yeah.
MVP so far. We're probably gonna wrap it up in the season once that's done and give y'all a definitive on who that is.
My
But
Hmm.
TTE coach of the year would be Mike Brown going to the Kings, though, man.
facts.
Yeah, I did not expect him to do with this roster. I was like, damn, Monk, Herter, you know what I'm saying? All these other dudes, Barnes, I was like, how you gonna work this together? And he got it going. He got it
Yeah,
going.
I thought he was gonna bum it out over there and come back to Golden State. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think we all got a bad taste in our mouth post post LeBron with Mike Brown
Yeah.
from the Cleveland Cavs the first time. Everyone was like, "Man, well, look what he has now, and he can't really develop nothing." He wasn't left with anything.
No, 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 no,
You
no,
had
no.
a whole team based around one player. Remove that one player, now you just have a bunch of support players. But he's
Yeah,
doing a hell of a
Hmm.
job over there in Sacramento.
yeah,
All right, y'all.
definitely.
Playoff picture. Those of y'all watching, got it down low. Y'all can take a look at the Eastern Conference, the playoff picture. We got 3 teams that have already clinched the playoff berth in the Milwaukee Bucks, Boston Celtics, Philadelphia 76ers, rounded out by the Cavs, the Knicks, the Nets, and then the Heat, Hawk, Raptors, and the Bulls all in the play-in currently. What's that looking like for y'all? Are we pretty solid with the play-in? Y'all think anything changes? There's like a game or two in between 5 to 7, and then 8 to 10. I think is pretty locked in.
So somebody who I was just about to say, if Markel Bridges would get a late search for TTE MVP if he was able to be with the Nets for a good minute.
Mm,
And Vaughn will be my second runner up for coach of the year. The fact that he took over after Nash and then dealt with all that and got these trade off and is still here and didn't drop off like people expected.
quality team.
That Yeah, quality team. So that definitely I feel like deserves its kudos in itself. Little shocked in the Heat and where they're at as a team. But they're just that team that like Jimmy in the play. But that's the part that scares me is this year's Heat in the play in could get blown the hell out. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't trust this year's Heat team in the play in. Like last year's I would have trusted them. The year before I would have trusted them. In the series I would trust them. But I just don't think that they have that push within them for me to really want to lean into Jimmy and Bam and Spo. So like I'm kind of concerned and a little disappointed in them. Um, a little like the Knicks with Tibbs. I feel like he has a team that works with what he does. Josh Hart being a big pickup for them, really kind of helping them out over there. I'm still not a big believer in them, but I do think they're a second round team at least.
Mm,
And then the Cavs, kind of like for me, I think I'm trying to wait to the playoffs to see if this Donovan Mitchell switch snaps and what
Right.
it does for and what it does for the rest of that roster. Because this is still a roster that not many of them got playoff experience. They got to the play-in last year, took the L, and now you got Mitchell. So if they was to match up with the Knicks, it'll be funny. It'll be funny about
Ooh,
how that would go. So
Cavs Knicks in the second round. That would be crazy.
Hmm.
yeah,
What about you, Polly man?
At
What's the
the
playoff
moment,
picture looking like?
they're what 4-5, Cavaliers and Knicks. So they would play against each other
Yeah, that's
yeah,
close.
if it ended today.
yeah.
And that's it. I think I'll take the Cavs in 4.
Damn,
Take the
you ain't
Cavs
even
with the
giving the Knicks
sweep.
one.
Damn, not one. Yeah, no,
I
I'm not
wouldn't give
gonna
them a
lie. I
chance.
probably would lean that too because I think Mobley would give Randall hell, and then I
Yeah,
think Mitchell would just snap.
he
Yeah,
he'll give them
yeah.
buckets. I don't
I
care.
think that'll get bad. I
He's
think
gonna
that'll get bad. Now
he's
that I
gonna
think
dunk
about
it
that.
on quickly. And they're doing all
Hmm.
of this without Darius Garland. I think Darius Garland been in and out the lineup.
Yeah,
So I think for the Eastern Conference, this is what I expected, honestly. But the Nets, that's probably the biggest surprise from where they are right now. Um, I think they'll lose a couple and get to the play-ins, and then Miami Heat will jump them eventually because they got what 10 games left or
I
what?
think everybody has under 10
Yeah.
left.
Yeah, yeah. So I think Miami finds a way to get to the 6th seed, maybe to the 5th seed if New York drops a couple too. So yeah, everything I'm looking at is what I expected, honestly.
But
Cool. Cool, cool, cool.
Hmm.
I'm right there on the same line with y'all. I think the Chicago Bulls end up losing that play in if they stay there. Um, because you got Indiana, who's a game behind them, can easily win a couple of games as soon as they get Tyrese Halliburton back today and make their way into the play-in. But I don't know, man. Chicago Bulls are a little bit of a disappointment. I feel like they're gonna blow up their team next year. I almost feel like they have
Hmm.
to. You almost have to, right?
Yeah.
Because you can't really pay Zach LaVine. DeMar's on the I don't want to say the tail end of his career, but the last portion of his career.
Hmm.
So I don't know, man.
and I think the Lonzo news messes them up a lot too.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
he
Yeah.
might be out next year too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
so I think that
crazy.
messes. But I think it's a good fact that they heard that so early because now they can just address it. Like they could just
Yeah.
find them. They could just go, hey, look, we'll just find somebody and almost play as if he's never coming back.
Yeah,
And
Hmm.
then if he does come back, figure it out from there. But I think they'll have the ability to address it.
yeah. Because they almost paid Caruso with the thought of, okay, you're gonna come in and be that number two guy behind
That's
Lonzo.
yeah, yeah. That's what he's
Hmm.
supposed to.
But now he's almost getting forced into that. Io
Yeah,
Dosunmu's having to be in there.
yeah,
But cool. That's gonna take us into the West. Take a look at the West to see how the West is panning out. The West is it's like one or two games in between everybody.
yeah,
Yeah. It's stacked.
Like 1 through 3 is locked, I think. Right? Denver and Memphis have
Yeah.
already clinched their spot in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Sacramento is pretty much there.
yeah.
But when you go from 4 down to 10, you got number 4,
So
the
no,
Phoenix
4 to
Suns.
12.
4 to 12, right? 4 to 12. You're right. 4 to 12. You got Phoenix Suns with 38 and 34, and then going down to number 12 with the Pelicans, 35 and 37.
Yeah, yeah,
That's crazy. And the Pelicans could get back Zion next week.
Yeah. And you think if you can't really call it an upset if any early big seeds lose in the first round, would it? Because it's so close.
I would say there's bad matchups. So for me, if it stays the way it is right now, and we got the play in with Minnesota and OKC, I think
Hmm.
OKC finds a way to upset Minnesota simply for the fact that I think Edwards is out for multiple weeks.
Hmm.
And that Thunder team is they're just young. They just
yeah.
they get up and down the floor, and how you gonna match that with Rudy and Cat? And then you got
Well,
Dallas and LA. One game, you get back a healthy Bron. I would almost give that to the Lakers. They've shown that they can stay in those games against Dallas.
I think
hmm.
defensively they would give them fits.
But I mean, I think the last time they played, they put Vanderbilt on Luca. I don't want to say he shut him down, but he gave him problems. That length,
Yeah,
that
Hmm.
speed. But having that Denver, and I ain't saying this just because I'm a Lakers fan. All right, Denver, LA in the first round, that's gonna go to 6 or 7.
Hmm.
That's gonna go to 6 or 7. I don't know who I'm gonna give it to either because Denver could, when they hit a spark, man, they hit a spark.
Yeah.
And then
Yep.
Memphis, OKC. I want to say OKC is one of the few teams that can match up with Memphis and give them problems defensively.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
would still leave Memphis in that one.
Yeah,
I think I would still give.
I would
Yeah, I
give
would say.
Memphis to them in
Yeah, I think that would
six,
give.
and then
Yeah, I think they would.
Go to State Sacramento. I just feel like I'm always gonna go into the experience in this one, the experience and the proof and what I've seen. I gotta give Golden State that against Sacramento,
Yeah.
and then the Suns and the Clippers. PG's hurt, KD's hurt. That's it.
But
I
I
don't.
think Katie, yeah, but I think Katie will actually be back no matter how he feels for the
Mhm.
playoffs.
Yeah.
You think
PG,
50% KD will get them far in the playoffs?
With
I
no
think fit.
PG, yeah. No, not far.
I'll be real with y'all. I think he was 50% when he got hurt. I think if like they had to, they would have, but they were like, nah, we don't need that. I I really do. I think he'll come back and at least be 80, 90 and good to go and try to get them a simple matchup. I really do think them taking him out was like, okay, it's bad, but we just gonna hold precaution. Like we're not gonna lose a playoff spot. So that's just how I felt about when they sat him out. If it was Phoenix Clippers first round, I would take Phoenix, especially off the PG
Yeah,
injury. It's just
yeah,
like God, that took off that. We know the point of that team is to have two dudes to lock up two dudes, and one of them's gonna be missing. So that's just gonna be bad.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, I would take Phoenix in that one. I'm with you. I do think OKC has that, still one from you in the play-in vibe. They definitely could do it. That would be hell if it was Memphis. Again, I do think the matchup, I would take what the Lakers could do defensively against Dallas, but we've seen what Luca can do in a damn play-in game too. So it would be a matchup. Like I said, it would definitely be a matchup.
Mm-hmm.
it'd be a Sunday night.
Also, yeah, yeah. I also look back at like the lesson learned. Luca wasn't playing in the Maxi Kleber game, was he? Well, he
Mm-mm.
was. He was in that game.
Oh
No,
yeah,
he
yeah.
wasn't in that one.
No, no,
The
no.
buzzer beater.
He didn't play that game.
No, he
The buzzer
didn't.
beater
It was
game.
just
So the
Kyrie.
buzzer beater game. So that was just kind of like for me. That was almost like a lesson learned for both teams because you got Dallas who's like, yo, we got this game without Liquid, and you got AD who went was like, no, that was my fault. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then again, that's without a LeBron and that's without a Luka. So I think that will definitely be a hell of a matchup to see if it got to that point. I don't think it should get to that point. Um, the Lakers do got what tomorrow night Minnesota and back to back with the Bulls, I believe.
Yep.
So you have a wide open window you know what I'm saying? Just to win some damn games. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Just to win some damn games. You know what I'm saying? It's so close. It's so close. Like, stop leaving meat on the bones. You know what I'm saying? And
Facts.
just go nut up and do it. Like when y'all lost to the Rockets a couple weeks ago. It should have been like, yo, AD, just go get this one that we're supposed to get. You know what I'm saying? Like we kind of got to get, yeah, we just kind of got to get some of these. Like we just have to get some of these and not be in this situation. So I would definitely lean that with the healthy Bron. I definitely would. Uh, so let's definitely see over the next couple games. I was listening, trying to check in the schedule. The Lakers do have a chance to definitely, like you said, one good stretch, get these games, get into the six, avoid the play-in, because any of these teams really can lose in the play-in in the West.
Yeah, we can
So
Mm-hmm.
we can move up to six or even five, especially with the injuries in
yeah,
LA. We know Kawhi
yeah,
ain't gonna be playing back to backs like that.
no,
You think they
no,
fall all the way out of the playoff picture with PG out?
The Clippers.
With how close the standings are?
it
I
really is.
think if they do, it'll be because New Orleans finds their way in.
But that's the thing is, I don't think New Orleans is gonna turn on that switch either. I will be very mindful with the potential we saw this team. This team did make it in last year with like less than 30 wins.
That's
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
72 games right now,
Like,
so they got 10 more games. They could
yeah,
get
like
Zion back with 5, 6 games left
they
in the
was like
year.
a what 28 something win team when they made the play in last year at the 10 seed
Yeah.
and
Oh,
just ended up winning their game and playing with Phoenix. So that just I like even if they would, I would still favor like I don't think they're gonna turn that switch on. I think it would have to take more of this a meltdown from the Clippers.
I think this is a valid question for the East with the West. How close the West is, we know the East is what it is. I think
Matter of
with
fact,
the East,
check the score real quick. The Pelicans play the Hornets right now. You know what I'm
Uh,
saying?
They're up 41-36, I believe. Says right there.
41-36. Pelicans are up.
So
But
yeah,
this
that, I
this
know
this
that.
is a valid question for the West being as close as they are. Who is your dark horse going into the playoffs? Assuming that the team you're picking makes the playoffs, wins their play-in if it's a play-in game. Who's your dark horse going into the playoffs that I don't think nobody that y'all think no one wants to face?
Um, Dallas. I want to see if they get. I mean, Luca in the playoffs is different, man. Honestly,
I think I would have to. Yeah, I think if Dallas got in, you would have to.
no one
If
wants to play
Dallas
them,
got
bro.
yeah, if Dallas got in, I would damn sure be for sure like, yeah, Luca ain't going home first round for sure. You know
Mm-mm.
what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like, I just
he getting
really,
through
really be
y'all.
ready to stamp that. Like, yeah, you're not letting Luca's not going home first round for sure.
Mm-mm.
So you could catch him in round two, but you're not gonna do it in one. So I
Mm-hmm.
think, yeah, I think that's kind of where I would have to lean to is if Dallas got in. So
Cool. I think I might have to jump on that train with Dallas. Luca is different in the playoffs, man. Even in the
take us
Mm-hmm.
over.
play-ins.
Take us over every night. Take us over every night.
Facts.
Over
Over.
52. Over 52. He hit
Over
56
50.
tonight.
Facts. That
Like,
man.
Quadruple double.
yeah, quadruple double. Like, yeah, just take the over every night. And let's just say 100. Just take Lucas over every night, bro.
Points,
Yep,
Just
yep.
points, rebound, assists, 55.
yeah,
Over
yeah,
every night.
it's
Mm-hmm.
over, bro. It's a wrap. That dude is
Over.
cold, bro. That dude is
He's
cold.
almost guaranteed for 10 assists,
Yeah,
7 rebounds, and about 40
And
points.
that boy Jaden Hardy been going crazy lately too for them off the
Yeah.
bench.
yeah.
So
Hardy's a bucket. It's just like it's gotta just watch, keeping my eyes on Kid and what he does. 'Cause, like, it feels like Josh Green's kind of been out the lineup, and you kind of want to see what he could do in there too. So
hmm
Especially with him being a
yeah,
long wing,
yeah,
somebody you'll be able to depend on in the playoffs.
yeah.
Cool. Any last second NBA stuff y'all want to cover? Last minute
so
comments
you
on the
Nah,
think
NBA?
so you think if Boston doesn't get to like the Eastern Conference Finals, you think they split up the stars?
Jalen Brown gave the vibes when he said some mess about Tatum and Boston reaching out to KD. He said he was like, "Did you like?" I think he's getting irritated of it. You know what I'm saying? I
Mm-hmm.
think he's getting irritated in that. I mean, it's not gonna happen now. But
Lost you for a second, either.
yeah,
Lost your voice.
Oh, there
my
you
bad,
go. There you go.
my bad, my bad. It was a phone call. It was a phone call came in. Nah, I think yeah, bro. God, phone call messed me up. It just feels like from that quote that we seen that maybe he just got tired of being the one being looked to be traded. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think Boston would move Jalen Brown unless he just asked to be traded. And I think there would be a lot of suitors for him.
Yeah.
I think we
Mm-hmm.
could revisit the Jalen Brown to Portland for Dame Lillard. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? I think we could revisit that if that became a real option. But I don't think Boston has no plans to move off of him unless he asks for it.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, hear me out. This is crazy, but I think if Jalen asks for a trade, Lakers are shipping out AD. AD and two first.
I think the Lakers will move off AD this year if
Mm-hmm.
or good trade. I think they're just kind of, it feels like they're kind of leaning that way.
Yeah, it's kind of just
I think
like
they're ready to,
we
yeah,
got a lot of pieces, bro. We don't win.
yeah,
We won a few games when all you doing is scoring 14 points, dog.
yeah, yeah. I think they will be ready to make the move too.
But
So
Mm-hmm.
excited to see what happens, man. Y'all ready for the NFL? Move on to the NFL.
yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
NFL talk, man. Post free agent review. A lot of moves in the offseason with the NFL. I think that's one thing that I've had to get used to with the NFL is these moves happen like rapid fire, bruh.
Yeah.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
over the
Hey,
last
I
few
just got a
years, it's
text
been
from
crazy.
Deuce. I just got a text from Deuce. K State's in overtime. K State and Michigan State's in overtime.
Is it?
Are they?
Let's
Yep,
see.
92-92, 130
Yep.
left
In overtime?
in overtime.
Oh, damn.
Please
Oh.
don't mess up my bracket.
Ah,
My
all
bracket's
right. Just
already
making sure.
messed up, but damn.
You just want to win the round at least. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like
You want to
I'm one
win
of
the
the
round.
only people that picked K State to beat Michigan State. So if I win this, I'll put myself ahead in
Yeah, yeah.
points.
You cool. You cool.
Man.
That's why. All right, all right. Let's make sure.
But yeah, what are some of the offseason moves in the NFL that stood out to you, man? Because there's a whole lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's
I,
actually speak on your teams where you're at with your team and the moves that y'all made or lack thereof.
um,
Black things.
he said like there. I'm actually 100% good with the moves that we made in Carolina. Like I really am. Um, yeah, like I sat there and I talked stuff the whole time with the trade because I really didn't think that adding DJ or Burns or Horn was gonna be part of the package. And then when I, sit back and I look at it, I'm like, okay, I'll take it. Like I'll be cool. So, we got the ability. This coaching staff, y'all know I'm 100% on the I'm good as long as it's CJ or Bryce. But if they take Will or AR, yeah, I'm gonna be mad. Like I'm gonna be mad. Y'all know I'm gonna be mad. Like I'm gonna be tight. But then
Telling you.
no matter who they take, it gives myself and the world the ability to hold these dudes 100% accountable because you gave up a good wide receiver, you moved up to one. You don't got the excuse of sitting at 9 and just taking who's left over. Like you went up, you sending 15 people and half a Cash Money Records to go look at these quarterbacks. So you're gonna pick. The world knows you're gonna pick. You're on the clock. You don't have to hide nothing. So whoever you take, all of y'all jobs is on the line. Like there's absolutely no excuse for it because you made the move ahead of time. So whoever
Mm-hmm.
they take, what I'm saying, we'll get to see from that point. But then outside of that, I love the Hayden Hurst pickup.
Great pickup.
I love the Hayden Hurst pickup was my favorite pickup of all the people we picked up. I like Thielen pickup just because I'm like, all right, it's Thielen, it's cool with somebody on the other side. He's good. And honestly, if you go look at his numbers was better than DJ's last year. Granted, he was playing with Kirk in there, but it was like, yeah, his numbers is stealing. I like Miles Sanders, even though I was very critical of him in the Super Bowl. I was like, damn, bro, like fumble. But then people, Philly fans came in the chat was like, he was hurt, bro. He was hurt. So I was like, all right, cool. Yeah, he was hurt. One thing that does concern me about the Miles Sanders pickup, nothing to do with the money. I don't know if it's a reason schematically or not. He had 50 catches his rookie year, and then it just dropped all the way to like 20. But he only got like 26 targets last year. So I don't know if that's just the way that the offense went. But I'm not going to be mad if you were running back and you give me 1,100 yards and only 20 catches. Like, that's going to be cool with me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to take that. I don't think 1,100 is probably in his realm next year with us because we ain't got a Philly O line. Like, we ain't got a Philly O. Like, we don't got none of that. So I'm expecting that to drop still probably 1,000. But I'm kind of hoping. I think Frank Reich likes a receiving running back. So we'll see. We'll see what he does with that. I like the Von Bell pickup, and I just like everything that they've done with the staff on paper. I like what they've done with the staff on paper. So we'll see how that goes. But at the end of the day, I'm pretty good with everything they've done because they just accepted their window. If we don't find this quarterback, it don't mean Chet. that's, that's what it is. So.
Keep pounding. Keep pounding. Ball it, man.
Defense.
Green Bay Packers, dog.
Man, we just waiting, man. We just waiting. We just waiting on the day. Honestly. Honestly, we just waiting on the day until we get the trade going through, man. I
So,
think
Polly, are you off Aaron? Are you off Aaron personally? Like you're like, yo, it's just time to go.
um no, because I don't know what Jordan Love can do.
He said no.
So no. So
Watch.
yeah,
So perfect world for you. GM Pollard, post Aaron, he gonna get traded. We know it's gonna happen. What moves are
yeah.
you looking or excited to make as a GM of the Packers?
If I can get at least a second round from the Jets and like someone like Corey Davis or like what's his name? Whitehead, the safety from them,
Yeah.
that can help our team. So I mean that can help us out. Second round pick can help us out get another freaking receiver if we don't get one in the first round, which we probably won't. And yeah, man. And then what our pickups? Freaking our best pickup was the kick returner, Keyshawn Nixon. That's all we have. So
Damn.
yeah, we're just waiting. We just waiting because we got all the leverage that we got. So we just
Yeah, that's
waiting
why I
on
said
them.
when Elijah Moore got traded from the Jets and they got a second back, I was like, oh yeah, they did that to send to Green Bay. Like I was for sure, like I was
Hmm.
like, oh, they got that second to trade to Green Bay to kind of help the
Yeah.
package out.
So yeah, I'm just waiting on the day. Looking at my phone every day. Yeah.
Cool, man. Eagles, man. For me, the Eagles, the Eagles, the Eagles, the Eagles. Man, we lost C.J. Gardner Johnson. We lost Javon
Boo.
Hargrave. We lost
Boo.
T.J. Edwards. We lost Kaiser White, who I didn't think we was gonna lose. We lost Miles Sanders. We lost Marcus Epps. And I'm gonna be honest with you, the only one of those losses that I'm personally salty about is C.J. Gardner Johnson. That
Yeah,
to me, I think was priority number one. I'm surprised. I actually called that we would bring back Bradbury. That just made sense to me after the ending of the Super Bowl. Uh, I'm glad we were able to bring Slay back. He's still in the prime of his career, I think. But losing Javon Hargrave to the Niners at that, I don't care if we lost, bro. We could have lost him to the Commanders. I'd have been cool.
yeah,
To the Cowboys, I'd have been cool. We lost him to the Niners. That D
yeah,
line is nasty.
yeah,
We picked up Murrow from the Bears, middle linebacker, which I think
Uh-huh.
is going to push Nakobe Dean outside to where Kaiser White was, get him some burn. We lost Isaac Selmalo just recently. He went to the Steelers, and I think we're actually going to put Cam Jurgens there. He's already supposed to be our center once Kelsey retires, so I could see him sliding in at guard just to kind of get a look there.
yeah,
I know we're in the free agency for maybe even the draft for a safety with Marcus Epps being gone. I like Reed Blankenship. Last year was his rookie year. I like him. I
yeah,
like what he brings to the table. So even if we're taking him and then bringing in a safety for our nickel and dime packages, I'm cool with that. I really hope we don't take Bijan Robinson in the first round. I like Bijan Robinson a lot.
yeah,
I like him a lot, especially after Vita was high on him. Made me go watch the film. Made me go and do some research. I like him. I just don't think a running back is worth a first round pick personally.
yeah.
We ended up picking what the hell's his name from Seattle. I can't even think of his name
Rashad
right now.
Penny.
Penny,
Rashad
not
Penny.
Penny.
Rashad Penny. Kenneth
Yeah.
Gainwell, I think is gonna be the lead back next year. We might bring in I know Zeke. Zeke is
Yeah.
somebody
Zeke.
that's looking at the Eagles, which the last Cowboys running back we got was I can't think of his
DeMarco,
name.
did DeMarco, did DeMarco
DeMarco
leave?
Murray.
Murray.
DeMarco Murray the
Murray.
year after he had that big year with the Cowboys. We brought him in. I think we went to the playoffs.
You
Yeah,
didn't. I think it was a
That was a Super Bowl year.
Super Bowl year, right?
We won the Super Bowl with DeMarco Murray. So hopefully the same thing happens. We bring in Zeke. We win the Super Bowl. I'm okay with that. And I know we're looking at a couple of safeties that are currently not able to get paid by their teams. So maybe we see front office going to make some moves in free agency for some of those safeties that need to get paid and got 1 year left on
yeah,
their contract for a 1 year rental. So
yeah,
overall,
Hmm.
man, I'm pretty satisfied with our free agency.
yeah.
How we doing some work over there, man. Fly Eagles fly, fly Eagles fly. Um, 3 teams trending up and 3 teams trending down.
mm, I'll start with the trending down. We can go with the Broncos. They got some offensive line. They got some offensive line help, but who he gonna throw it to? Who he gonna hand it off to?
They put their whole wide receiver core on the trading block.
On the trading block. Their lead running back's coming back from an ACL injury. Like, who you got?
I,
And then the Raiders don't know what the hell they're doing. They got older. They keep getting older with the more, I guess, more good looking Derek Carr. on their team.
Those ain't good looking.
They traded a better looking. They got a better looking Derek Carr with a worse arm.
Get on out of here, bro. Hey, I'm done. That's hilarious.
Bruh.
That is
And then of
hilarious.
course the Packers. I don't know. We just waiting. That's just
Man.
we just waiting too damn long to make this trade happen. So yeah, those are my three teams trading now.
Who are your three teams trending down, Vita?
I think one right now for me is the Ravens. Um, playing with Lamar. Yeah, you're just playing with Lamar. And I think the longer you drag this out, the longer it holds you back because that's a division that is just getting tougher as the day goes on. Like a year two Kenny Pickett's going to be gradually better than what he was. And, they've still pulled out some wins. So right now, Baltimore, you had a great draft last year. You did everything in place to pay him. So the fact that this is still ongoing now, I think that's kind of trending in the wrong direction with how the landscape of your division in the AFC is going in itself. Another team that I felt was trending down, the Buccaneers. Got Baker Mayfield, baby. You freaking suck. You know what I'm saying? so yeah, I'm cool with that. Y'all see me doing the videos all the time. I ain't had a Bucks fan in a section yet. I went asking, looking for them. I see none of them around.
My man's put the bat signal up for the Bucks fan and
Yeah,
nobody showed
I'm
up.
trying to find out, and nobody's showing up. So me and Deuce was on the phone, was like, bro, let's go to Tampa Bay instead next year. Them chickens probably dirt cheap, so it's probably gonna be a move. So because we can get dirt cheap tickets to go to a Tampa game next year. I'm the fact that they brought back David, the fact that they traded off Shaq Mason, their guard to Houston,
That was
and
crazy.
just they let go of Byron Leftwich. Todd Bowles is still at the Hills, who he's like, you know what I'm saying? You don't try to go against a brother, but golly, man, I don't know. I don't like what they doing over there. They could have folded this year, which I mean they still can and put themselves in a position next year just to kind of ante up and re-up over there. That's cool. But yeah, them but again, I mean, what's else expected when you go from Tom to anybody? It's gonna be a step outside of your Super Bowl window you once was in. And who's the other team that I had trending down that I can't think of right now? The rightful trending down though might be the Cardinals.
Mm.
I think this is a team that's trending down at the right time on purpose. You got your quarterback's already going to be gone for most of the year. You got a new coach coming in. You got to just get off some assets because next year you should just accept being the bad team while you get stuff together to have Kyler for a full season. So I think that's a team
Mm-hmm.
that's trending. And that was like my big point of free agency is I felt like a lot of teams were maneuvering in their window and Arizona seeming to kind of just embrace where they're going to be next year is just like, you know what, let's just take this step back and get right so we can set up right for next year. So I think that's another team for me that was kind of trending down. I was like, oh, cool. I can see why they're doing that.
I'm gonna go with my three teams starting with the Washington Commanders. They are trending down. Specifically because that list came out that was filled out by players saying, who are the best franchises to play for, and the Washington Commanders was way down on that list. I think they was last.
Almost with Arizona.
Man, and that to me says if the players is filling it out and the players are the ones that's saying
Yeah.
that says everything you need to know.
Yeah,
Like there were
yeah.
tweets by
That's
some of the burners.
1,500 players. So that's people who
Yeah,
played there for a long time
that
before too.
Kurt Warner was probably
Uh,
filling that thing out for Arizona
yeah,
like they buns.
they was making people pay for meals, bro. Like y'all got free snacks for the players, bro.
Man, they gotta pay for it, and there was
Yeah, they was paying
cockroaches
for
and
meals,
rats.
bro.
Nah,
That's
dog.
crazy.
Nah. The other team
Yeah,
that's trending downward for me is I think I'm gonna go with I think the Raiders is the easy choice. The Raiders. You go sign Jimmy Garoppolo. You go sign the game manager who's familiar with that coach. Probably familiar with the system, but you ain't really do nothing to support that, right? Your O line is still your O line. You got rid of your tight end who's coming into the year healthy.
Yeah,
Now you just got Tay to throw to, Devontae Adams. Who else you
yeah,
throwing to? Hunter Renfro probably ain't gonna be there next year.
yeah.
Um, the third team I think is also trending down. Is I'm going with I'm gonna go with the Saints, man. The Saints to me is
You don't
trending
like the
downward.
Saints?
Nah, I don't. to me, I think the loyalty part of it, I love the loyalty part of what the Saints bring to the table. But they just ain't doing nothing that tells me that they're moving forward. You go and bring back Jameis Winston. Cam Jordan, I think, re-upped on his contract. And then I look at all the other pieces. You got Michael Thomas, restructured his contract. He's been injured for the last 2 years. I just don't see anything that makes me believe that they're going up.
Yeah.
And that's why I think the Panthers are going to go and win that division. I don't want to say outright, but they're going to win that division.
Yeah.
But Vita Man, kick us off with the 3 trending upward.
3 trending up. Chicago.
Hmm.
Chicago is one team trended up because they did a good amount of the things that they should have did to where next year me and Fowler could come at the end of the year on opposite sides of the table again, and I could be like, I told you Justin Fields was good. He could be like, I told you Justin Fields was trash. So they're doing everything to put him in a situation to be like, all right, Fields, we're doing the things to kind of put this team together. I still think that team going into next year is, I'm not even gonna lie, I still have them as the worst team in that division. Going into next year, I still think they're fourth, but it should be a better fourth. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, we're putting money and just making the team better. So we got to, up in the team. So I think they are trending in the right way, especially going into a Justin Fields year where he has to have his player option picked up after that year. So I think that was a team that was trending up. Another NFC North team I think that's trending up because they made the right moves back was Minnesota, bringing in Flores as your defensive coordinator, and then moving off of like Kendricks and Peterson and some of these guys who we thought would stabilize the defensive ship and didn't. That's the backlash part of when you go from Zimmerman to O'Connell. You help out the offensive side of the ball, but on defense, you're going to lose that. So you bring in a piece to kind of stabilize where you were very weak at. Daniel Jones just got paid because he tore your team up, you know what I'm saying, in the playoffs. So you said, hell no, we got to go fix this. I expect them to be fairly defensive heavy in the draft, kind of trying to just bolster that side of the ball. So I felt like Minnesota trended up by just making sure they attacked the one thing that was their weakness last year in that. And the last team, who else can I say did I have that was trending up? Miami. I like Miami. Like picking up Tua's option, saying the hell with it, going to get Ramsey, getting that second year going with everybody. It's like, hey, if we can't win it with Tua on this rookie deal and his thing, he's gonna be the one that's gone. We still got the other dudes around to make it go.
Right.
So
we ain't getting in
yeah,
trouble for this.
no. So Tua will be gone. We'll replace him with a quarterback. So I think Miami is definitely a team to me that was trending up. Unfortunate to hear about Byron Jones and how like his body was physically going. But then I mean, just as a front office and as a team, you're like, oh damn, we lost Byron Murphy, and then a week later, you're like, oh, we got Jalen Ramsey. Like, oh, cool, all is fair. So and signing Vic Fangio to defense, so hopefully that'll help out. I think it was bro was getting cooked in some ends too, but I think they're a team that's kind of trending in that direction too to try to win that division.
Yeah, the fact that Jalen Ramsey is your number 2 corner,
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
Pilot man, who's trending up for you?
The 2 NFC East teams, man. The Cowboys and the Giants, man. The Cowboys went on. They went and got Brandon Cooks to help on the other side. You know what I mean? Don't give me that look. All right, I got this. The Giants got better. They helped their defense. They got some key pickups. Offensively, they got Darren Waller. They still don't got no receiver, but they still got Danny Dimes though. So you know what I mean.
Vanilla Vic.
Vanilla Vic made him look regular in the playoffs.
And then Dak Prescott went and got a leg tattoo, so he's gonna look way better to beat y'all team. Sorry.
What does he think he is, Deuce?
He's gonna look more fierce.
He's just gonna look more fierce. He's gonna look more fierce.
Man.
Oh no, God, boy.
Man.
And then the last
Wow.
team is the Texans because they're gonna be a winner of whoever the Panthers pick after the first pick. So yeah.
The Texans are still gonna have CJ Stroud or Bryce Young to pick from.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And sometimes the winner of the draft is number 2, bro. You make the job easy for them. You don't have to. You don't have, and you got number 12. And as Houston, you
That's
still got pick
crazy.
number 12. So it's
They
like,
can trade up even more.
yeah, they could trade up again. You know what I'm saying? They could take CJ. I have a theory that if they get CJ at 2, they'll take JSN with that
Oh,
second pick. That's
oh,
my theory. I'm
oh.
a so when it happens draft night, if Houston takes CJ, I'll be finding a way to put money on JSN to go to Houston if that happens.
I'm gonna find a way to put money on them.
Yeah, yeah.
My 3 teams trending up is I'm gonna start with the Lions, the Detroit Lions. That team defensively is gonna be nasty next year,
Yeah.
especially if they end up with Will Anderson on their team. What? Yeah, that team is gonna be nasty next year. Jared Goff showed us what he is capable of doing when you put some pieces around him. Um, cause I mean, let's be real. When he was in St. Louis, who did he really have around him? Todd Gurley,
Robert Woods.
Robert. I
Really
mean,
good.
but he has a hell of a
Mhm.
defense around him. Has a hell of a
Mhm.
team. I think they improved all the way around. The other team that I think is trending up, who I think is one move away from being a serious threat, and I mean serious threat, is the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're coming off a hell of a year, and we're just waiting to see post free agents or post draft when we see some sort of DeAndre Hopkins to the Jacksonville Jags talk.
I don't think there's a spot for him because I think they're 100% locked in on Ridley.
Calvin Ridley? Oh yeah, Calvin Ridley's coming back.
That
Ridley
fool
and Zay
Calvin
Jones had a big year last year.
They
Yeah, and
did.
Ridley was like, and Ridley's fire, bro. And he was like, with T Law, said, I'm gonna do 1,400 easy.
And ETN
and I
ETN showed what he
and
was
I
able to
believe
do.
him, bro. And I believe him. Ridley is so cold, bro. The world is about to hate that guy, bro. Ridley is so cold, man. That
That's
man is going to cook.
Mhm.
that's who I'm gonna roll with trending up with the Jags. And then the last team I think is trending up is the Carolina Panthers. The Carolina Panthers, man, they're gonna come into the year with a healthy defense. We got to talk about what kind of deep. Just go watch Vita's TikToks. He can tell you what kind of defense they had last year, man. They had one of the
Mhm.
best defenses. They're coming in healthy now. They're gonna have a franchise quarterback who's
Will
going to
Levis.
be
Yeah.
the best quarterback in that.
F you,
Oh my
Bale,
goodness.
F you.
They about to draft a quarterback who's going to be the best quarterback in that conference, which is crazy. He about to come in and be a rookie and be the best quarterback in that conference, throwing to nobody. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm excited to watch. I'm excited going to be watching them next year. Unless they take Will Levis, then they're going to be on the downtrending. That's going to be a whole
Man,
nother conversation.
his pro day is tomorrow, so they're on their way over there. So we'll see what happens with
You
that
like to see
pro day.
15 Panthers, 15 Panthers representatives over there too. They're gonna be like, damn, he can swing that thing wide open. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I
Hey,
mean,
let's see if Nicole Tepper hugs Will Levis. Let's see if Nicole Tepper hugs Will Levis. I told
if
y'all. I
she
told
don't,
y'all. She don't.
they not even
She,
touching him.
yeah, if she only hugs people she likes. So if she doesn't hug Will, he's not the guy, bro. She's the snitch in this whole story. Tepper's not. They're not gonna sign off on nobody that Nicole don't say to sign off of. So if she don't go up there and hug Will, y'all know it's a wrap. So
All right, y'all. Last thing, NFL draft thoughts. Who are some sleepers in the draft that y'all want to see land with certain teams? Because
um,
I know first 2 rounds is pretty much it is what it is, right? Best player available is the easiest thing to do, especially with what your team needs, what each team needs. But as we get later on in the draft, there's those draft gems. Which
so
ones are y'all
I
looking at?
so I think within the first round, I think like I feel like the Ravens should go wide receiver, and I feel like with their offensive coordinator, who's a passing type of guy, I think like a sneakily good pick for them would be Jordan Addison,
Hmm.
for Baltimore. I think he would be very instant impact over there for them. And what I this is assuming Lamar's still there. I think he'll be very good for them. I'm like very weary. I'm starting to get more and more weary of Jalen Hyatt. the more that I go on with him. Because like I do see a Ted Ginn type of dude. You know what I'm saying? I see Ted Ginn, like type of
Specialist.
guy. Yeah, like so. I don't know if he really. Again, I think he's gonna be able to stretch the field and do what we see him do on film. Where do I think he would land? He looks like a Raider. I don't know. He just looks like a Raider. He looks like somebody the Raiders would take early second round or something. Within the second round if they could grab him. Uh, I would like to see Hendon Hooker find his way to Tennessee.
Hmm.
Yeah, like I feel like if Hendon Hooker could get to Tennessee, I feel like that'll be crazy. Uh, I I was on the Malik Willis train trying to have benefit for him, but Vrabel has seemed to kind of go out his way to meet with Hooker. I think maybe just trying to do his due diligence to see if it's a possibility. So that's kind of like the first three I could think of right there.
I'm gonna go with I'm gonna start with Noah Sewell. To me, he's just a super instinctual linebacker. I'm also a Oregon groupie, so that's one of the players that I've been watching all year. Noah Sewell, man, I hope somehow, some way he ends up on the Eagles right there in the second round, late second round, late third round, early. I mean, I think we got like the 31st pick in the second round, but Noah Sewell, we obviously need some linebacker help. Um, DJ Turner, Michigan. I think he's one of the better corners in this draft.
Yeah.
We got the obvious corners in Christian Gonzalez and then the Mississippi State corner, but I think he's another one out of Michigan that I think is going to be somebody to look for. And then I think what was his name? One of the linebackers. Um, Nick Herbig out of Wisconsin.
Okay.
Nick Herbig out of Wisconsin. He's one of those linebackers to me that's like a Nick, like a Leighton Vander Esch
Yeah.
kind of a linebacker who's just gonna give you those high energy plays. He's got a big motor. I think his game translates really well to the NFL, and I think those are three players that I'm gonna be looking at to see where they land, and I think they'll be able to make an immediate impact on their teams.
Mm. I think for me, I think someone like Christian Gonzalez to like the Chargers, if he can land that,
Ooh,
if he can
Or
move back that
that's
far.
far.
Yeah, but even if they trade up for him, I think that'll be a perfect place for him because put him on the other side of J.C. Jackson, who's coming off an injury. They don't really got a second corner out there, so I think he'll fit in perfectly. Even if they can get like Nolan Smith of the Chargers.
yeah.
So like,
Nolan Smith. He coming to the Eagles, man. Stop playing.
yeah. And then last one was probably Sam Laporta, the tight end
Tight end.
from Iowa.
Beast.
He looks pretty nice for nice, well-rounded tight end. He could probably fit in, somewhere like Green Bay. I mean,
A real
not
good tight end
recruiting
class, bro.
anything, but
That's a really good tight
yeah,
end class.
yeah, it is.
Really good tight end class.
Who's that tight end that they was talking about? Who's all the hype is around? He's like 6'6", 6'7".
Washington.
Oh, Darnell Washington
Darnell Washington.
from Georgia.
Yeah.
Man, what are y'all prospects for him in the NFL?
I think he's your
He's
two-way
gonna be
dude.
like Mo Alley Cox.
Yeah, he's your two-way dude because say he's Brock Bowers was the receiving tight end. They gave that dude jet sweeps over there in Georgia. You know what I'm saying? Like, they was giving Brock and Darnell Washington. He just big body dude, blocks really well, big hands, catches. I don't think
Hmm.
he's forced into the receiving game much. I also don't think he was
Yeah,
asked to do much either in the receiving game. But he's definitely a dual threat dude. I think right system, right place with the right person. Bro could put up big numbers. So
he runs 4.6 too.
yeah.
All right, my
But
last
this is
question.
really, it's a really, yeah, really deep tight end class.
My
Really
last
deep tight
question
end
for
class.
y'all. Where does Stenson Bennett end up?
Stetson Bennett.
Yeah,
Baltimore.
Baltimore.
Yeah,
Ooh,
he going with
Stetson
his Georgia
Bennett.
OC. He's going with his Georgia OC. Georgia's OC is the OC now for Baltimore. He gonna be the one pound on the table for him.
Stetson Bennett
Stetson Bennett. Ain't he like 28, 27 or something like that?
to the Rams.
25.
25.
Yes, that's a Bennett to Baltimore. He following his
To the
OC.
Rams.
Damn, to the Rams. I seen that the Rams was trying to look for suitors for their quarterback,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I think that's just them doing their due diligence.
that's
Hmm.
it.
Mariota to the Eagles. It finally
They
happened.
shouldn't have just signed him. They just shouldn't have re-signed Matt after the Super Bowl. Like they should have just been like, "You got what we got. You got what we needed. Let's just move on from here." And they should,
Go get
yeah,
your
they
big
should have
contract
just let
somewhere
it.
else.
Yeah, they should have just let it be. You was already getting paid. We didn't have to extend you. Like, all right, bro. Look, we got the Super Bowl we traded for. Like, we good.
All right, y'all. Final thoughts on the NFL. Final thoughts on the draft upcoming. We're a couple weeks away. We're gonna be live in KC.
Yeah, we'll be here for the
Just
draft.
don't be surprised with Will tomorrow, man. Don't be surprised. He gets that hug.
Will's Will's gonna make somebody trade up to 3 tomorrow. Will's gonna make somebody to trade up. Yeah. Well, this
What?
this will come out after Will's pro day, so we'll be able to see it again. But somebody's gonna make the trade tomorrow for Will's gonna make a Zach Wilson throw, y'all. Will's gonna roll out to the right, pull down his pants, pull it up, and then throw it 90
Yeah.
yards. And then they're gonna be like, "We gotta go to 3. We gotta trade with the Cardinals right now."
Who you
So
think? Who you
Will's
think
gonna
goes up to 3 or 4? Because the Cardinals don't need a quarterback.
the Cardinals. No. The
The
Cardinals don't. I
the
honestly believe in my soul the Colts are just gonna be cool with whoever. Because I don't think Houston's gonna budge at 2. I don't think Carolina's gonna budge. So like I think Indy has to be like, damn, we might really be looking at Will or AR. But man, like if I could take a wild shot, if I could just take an absolute wild shot at 2 teams to trade up, I think it will be Washington or Tennessee.
Washington. Oh,
I'm
river
gonna
boat
say
run.
Minnesota.
Minnesota?
I'm gonna say
Like Minnesota
Minnesota.
did the smart thing, man. They didn't extend Kirk. It was just like, yo, we're not extending you, bro. You're just gonna play that year out. We're gonna call it a day. We'll figure it
Mm-hmm.
out after that. They got
Mm-hmm.
tired of him
we
rolling the
got Jay
Coles
Jettas,
cash.
bro. We're gonna be all right.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
they ain't playing that with Kirk. He thought he was gonna
They
get
can
another
they can
chip.
they
They're
can
like, no,
use
no, 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 no.
they can use that Dalvin Cook to trade up to get to that position where they're at right now.
Damn.
Yeah. So it'd be funny to see. Let's see if somebody tomorrow at Will's Pro Day trades up to 3.
This gonna be made a
Dalvin Cook
YouTube short, so I'm
return.
gonna make that. I'm gonna make this prediction just a YouTube short, so we can see that in there. But
Yes, sir.
cool. We go. This is pretty much the end. Any final thoughts?
Yeah, man. Nah, no final thoughts. And
All
we're
right, cool.
good. We're good.
Make sure y'all like.
Good.
Make sure y'all subscribe. Follow Vita Van Pelt on TikTok.
Yep.
If y'all want some up to date, round the clock sports coverage. We'll catch y'all later.